Hello, friends! Today, I will tell you about the cartoon The Addams Family. Last minute tour. Like if you like our videos. Wednesday Addams School is hosting a science fair. The kids have come up with their lousy projects, which are nothing compared to Wednesday's experiment. She combined the DNA of her super smart squid, Socrates, with the DNA of Uncle Fester. Wednesday wants to show how to improve her uncle's intelligence, and she succeeds. However, the school administration decides to give prizes to all participants so as not to offend anyone. In the end, everyone except Wednesday is happy. The famous scientist Cyrus Strange was invited to the award ceremony. He could not attend in person, so he sent his hologram to the school. After seeing Wednesday's experiment, Cyrus tried to find out her formula, but the girl said that it was a family secret and it should remain in the family. Wednesday's family was there too. They ruined it, as usual. Paxley did his best. Trying to impress the girls, he upgraded the volcano of one of the exhibitors and set it on fire. After this failure, Uncle Fester decided to help his nephew and gave him a book on seducing the fair sex that he had written himself. Wednesday, meanwhile, felt like an outsider in this family. She even refused to come down to the dining room for dinner, sending her parents a note. Gomez racked his brains, or whatever he had instead, and realized how he could unite the family and win back his daughter's favor. He just needed to go on a trip to the darkest and most unattractive corners of America. They packed up their things, loaded them into the family hearse, took the chest and the thing with them, and were ready to leave. But then a lawyer named Mostella came to see them. He represents a couple who claim Wednesday is their daughter. Allegedly, their children were switched in infancy, and Wednesday ended up with the Addamses. Mr. Mostella demands that Wednesday be given to him for DNA testing. Fester saves the situation. He gives one of his great-grandfather's fingers as a DNA sample. After that, the Addamses leave, and Mr. Mostella promises to find them and take their daughter away from them. He sets off in pursuit of them, along with his bodyguard named Ponga. On the road, strange things started happening to Uncle Fester. He became very fond of swimming, and instead of an arm, he developed octopus tentacles. So when he saw an advertisement for Niagara Falls, he turned the car toward it, and the Addamses lost their way. Despite the unexpected situation, they had a good time at the waterfall. Paxley tried to pick up the girls, but it didn't work. Then Wednesday used a voodoo doll to make her brother dance, and then threw it into the water. Paxley went there too. The elder Addamses decided to take a leap of faith, too. Gomez even prepared barrels for the occasion. Noticing the lawyer, they jumped down and survived. Fester even managed to pull Paxley out of the water. Seeing that the parents were acting strangely, Wednesday began asking questions, but Morticia did not tell her about the switch of children at the maternity hospital. Meanwhile, Granny Addams, who was left in the house as the eldest, decided to earn a little money and threw a party here. But the party didn't go according to plan, and Granny was no longer happy that she had invited guests. Having stopped for a night's rest, the Addamses began telling scary stories. Uncle Fester also shared his memories. When Wednesday was first born, he went to see his niece, but then all the children started crying, and he decided to calm them down. Fester started juggling the babies, but he wasn't sure he had put all the children in their places. After listening to him, Morticia and Gomez realized that Wednesday could indeed have been switched. They went into the woods to discuss it, and Wednesday overheard them. She decided to get to the bottom of it herself. Then the Addamses arrived in Miami. After causing a bit of a ruckus on the beach, they spotted Cousin Ono, who had come there specifically for spring break. He would travel part of the way with the rest of the Addamses. On the way, Ono talked to Wednesday because he is also different from the rest of the family. He helped her accept herself for who she is. After that, Gomez and Morticia noticed that the lawyer and his bodyguard were following them. Trying to hide from them, Gomez turns the car around, and they go to a small town to visit a place called Alma. There is a beauty contest for girls going on there. To avoid being recognized by Mr. Mostella, the Addamses dress up in cowboy clothes and send Wednesday to participate in the contest. Here she is dressed in a pink dress, given a cute hairdo, and brought out on stage. But Wednesday has already prepared a terrible revenge for these dolls in the style of the movie Carrie. When the dance is over, she spills red paint on the girls. Mr. Mostella noticed this. He tried to take Wednesday away, But Gomez told the parents in the room that he was a talent agent, and the crazy moms jumped on him. This allowed the Addamses to escape. Once in the hearse, Wednesday began asking about the lawyer, and Gomez made up a lame excuse. Wednesday pretended to believe it. When the Addamses stopped at the Grand Canyon, Uncle Fester went to the bathroom. Here, his squid essence began to take over, taking over Fester's body and mind. While the Addamses were admiring the grandeur of the Grand Canyon, a private jet arrived and picked up Cousin Anno. Afterwards, Morticia handed Wednesday a pendant containing the blood of all the Addamses. It's a family heirloom that's passed down from generation to generation. Wednesday was very surprised by the gift because she already guessed that she was not part of this family. Then Paxley decided to spice up their boring journey a little and set up explosives in the canyon. And when he set off the explosion, the whole family quickly ran away to a secluded place before they were noticed. Then Wednesday waylaid the lawyer and caught him in a trap. At that moment, Dr. Strange called him. He said that he had been looking for his missing daughter for many years after he found out that his daughter was not his biological daughter. Strange invited Wednesday to visit him, but first the girl decided to test her relationship with the Addams using scientific methods. At night, she went hunting for hair, but the vegetation clung tenaciously to Gomez's head, and Wednesday had difficulty obtaining a sample. She then ran tests and discovered that Gomez was not her father. She then wrote a farewell letter to the Addamses and left. Larch went with her. After reading their daughter's letter, Morticia and Gomez decided to get her back and prove that there was no substitution at the maternity hospital. To this end, they are even ready to kidnap witnesses who could confirm their words. Once on the road, Wednesday and Larch encounter a biker gang and follow them to a bar. Here, Wednesday decides to start a bloodbath. She sends Larch to fight, but he misunderstands her request and plays the piano. By performing the song, he awakened the dancing genes in the tough bikers. Having become kinder in the process of dancing, they decided to give Wednesday and Larch a ride to Dr. Strange's house. After all, they were heading that way. Arriving to visit her biological father, Wednesday met his wife Ingrid, who looked more like an overgrown chicken, and his daughter Ophelia. Then Strange conducted a DNA test and clearly showed Wednesday that she was his daughter. Meanwhile, the Addamses also came to Strange. However, Fester refused to go with everyone because he was so sick, and he stayed in the hearse. After meeting the Stranges, the Addamses finally lost heart because Wednesday no longer considered them parents. But Puxley fell in love when he saw Ophelia. True, the girl looked more like a suckling pig, and at that moment she was rolling in the mud. The Addamses stayed at the Strange's house, and Ophelia invited Paxley to her place. They had a lot in common, but then it turned out that Ophelia really was a pig. The thing is, Strange was conducting experiments, trying to crossbreed a human and an animal. That's how Ophelia and Ingrid came into being. From Wednesday, Cyrus needs her formula, which the girl agreed to reveal only to family members. At that science fair, she was able to do what Strange couldn't. His beastmen would eventually turn back into animals, but with Wednesday's formula, this could be avoided. When the Addamses learned of this, they decided to stop the villain, but he hedged his baits. He put the entire family to sleep and placed them in glass flasks. Meanwhile, Wednesday refined his calculations and came up with a working formula for crossing human and animal genes. Strange suggested that she use the resulting drug to improve all the Addamses. Wednesday refused to do it. I was the one who wanted to change. Then he started the process himself. The girl realized that she had to stop Cyrus. She asked Larch to do it, but Strange brought Pong against him. However, they did not fight. They just hugged. It turned out that during their first meeting, Larch and Ponga recognized each other. They were in a mental hospital together, and Ponga warned Larch that Wednesday was in danger. After that, the two big guys played football with Strange and freed the Addamses. In the process, Cyrus swallowed his fill of the liquid that turns people into bestial mutants. After that, he mutated and became a huge monster. In this form, he attacked the Addams, but Uncle Fester stood up for them. He also mutated, turning into a giant squid. Ophelia also decided to help, but she was knocked down and fell into the mutagenic liquid. Fester managed to throw the mutant Strange into the abyss, and he himself got out alive. But he did not have long to live. Wednesday decided to turn him into a human so he wouldn't die. She used the Addams blood from her mother's pendant to create an antidote. By injecting it into her uncle, she made him back to normal. Ophelia also became human. The substance invented by Strange and Wednesday worked on her, but this time she would not turn into a pig anymore. Ophelia and Puxley were happy that they could be together. When the Addamses returned home, they saw a huge party and thought that this Granny had thrown them a surprise. In the end, Granny got away with it. When Wednesday found out that Strange had deceived her and that Morticia and Gomez were her real parents, she couldn't believe it because she had used Gomez's hair to check their relationship. Gomez admitted that he accidentally burned his hair a few years ago and now wears a wig made from Bigfoot hair. Wednesday was so moved that she even allowed him to hug her, but she warned that it would be the first and last time. The Addamses enjoyed the trip around the country so much that they decided to go on a world tour and went around the world.